morning.
Ma, how you going?
Oh, I didn't realize.
Oh, all right, thanks. And how are you? How are you today?
Good, you know, it's the same day. You heard from Greg at all? How's you feeling?
Well, last night we got some. I don't want to be overly optimistic, but last night he said the doctors told him that Jill is improving.
Okay.
And if she continues along that vein, they would be thinking of removing the respirator in a few days. So that was really.
Well, that's good news. I'll reach out to him later today. You know how it is. Be happy to hear, especially a day like today.
Okay, fine.
All right.
How are you doing? You finished with your music?
Somewhat, never finished. It's always something.
Oh, that's true. That's ongoing. That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Later.
All right. God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.
Imagine today is Carnival Saturday, a day when it's supposed to be one of the biggest days in Trinidad Carnival, and for me as DJ Private Ryan throwing Soca Brainwash. And today I am home by myself.
I will see you all next year. Should I not take for next year already?
Little did we know what was coming. Nobody could have guessed the kind of year 2020 would have turned out to be. A little while after Soca Brainwash was done, Carnival was over, people started to leave the country. My team and I met and we made the decision to cancel Soca Brainwash for the rest of the year, seeing what was happening on the news, seeing that the pandemic was getting worse and it was accelerating with no relief in sight.
Trinidad and Tobago has recorded its first COVID-19 death.
So we cancelled all the international Soca Brainwashes with a little hope of 2021 happening. But then the Prime Minister makes the announcement, no Carnival 2021.
Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago in 2021 is not on.
And that's pretty much the same thing that's going to be happening for 2022. We wait to see what version of Carnival the Prime Minister is going to allow. But in the meantime, event promoters are on standby because they're hoping for safe zone carnivals. This morning, we chat with music and global event producer DJ Private Ryan. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm well.
All right. Well, welcome to the Now Morning Show. We're chatting this morning about producing events in a pandemic, and I know that you've done so much more than just events, especially in the last let's say year or 2 years of this pandemic that has been brewing and ruining what we know the industry to be. So first of all, we just saw your reaction to when things got cancelled in 2021. Well, post 2020 Carnival Brainwash, which would have been the last one that happened in Trinidad and Tobago. But I also understand that you were able to do one during the year last year.
Yes, we were able to do both New York and Miami. Those were the only two out of all the territories we were able to do, just based on the regulations of the territory at the time. So New York did allow that sort of event, and so did Miami. Both came off successfully, and there were no incidents of any sort of spread or anything like that from the events, based on the protocols and everything.
Tell me about the difference between throwing it pre-pandemic versus throwing it during the pandemic.
Significant, because now, as we've moved into this new world, I say the world post COVID, which is a significant shift now in terms of the regulations and health, testing, people's mindset to being in mass events is now very different. So in terms of managing that landscape and then being able to execute the event where people feel comfortable is very different, as opposed to the carefree way that people had when it came to Carnival and Soca and this gathering. So it's different now.
So you're saying it's different. And yes, for obvious reasons. But would you say that people were more gung-ho to actually come out? I know there will be the ones with the reservations, but did you find that patrons were ready from jump?
Yes, actually, very much so. People were not meant, and the human nature, especially in the Carnival, we were never, in a situation where we had to stay indoors for so long and couldn't move about. And you know, we are natural limers, you know, especially in Trinidad, you know, the culture, you know, you like to lime by your favorite water hole or bar, whatever, gather with friends and do different activities. When we did New York, the tickets sold really fast. People were very, very open to coming back out and seeing their friends again. And in Miami, it was no different. People were very happy to just be around others, see people, have a great time. Yes, within a controlled environment, but they were very, very antsy to be outside.
Good morning, DJ Private Ryan. Natalie here.
Good morning.
So I just wanted to know if, 2022 in Trinidad and Tobago, we might not be able to have Soca Brainwash, but what about the other territories that you normally have the event in? Are you going to be able to do that?
That's yet to be seen. Things change very quickly. The news changes very quickly in terms of everything that's going on. And so no decision could be made about any further Soca Brainwashes pending knowing what every territory is going to allow. And then also understanding that there's a planning cycle. There's no way that an event of that scale can be planned in a month or two. It needs to be executed at a high level over the course of a few months of significant planning to make sure that the quality stays the same or higher than we left off. So there's all that to be taken into consideration too.
Ryan, how do you feel about the government's suggestion for Safe Zone Carnival? Do you think that's a possibility with something as big as Soca Brainwash?
Yes, I do. I think it's something that we need to explore. The reality for me is I think that the world will need to learn how to coexist with the virus being here. It's not something that's going to disappear, I think, anytime soon. So I think we need to find ways of innovating and working, with the relevant authorities and doing everything we can to create some safe spaces where people can go to events. I mean, there's a whole sector that's been shut down for about 2 years, and that people, I think, don't understand the gravity of that, because there's an entire ecosystem that has now suffered. It's not just about the people at the top. It goes straight down to the bottom, straight down to the person, straight to the cleaners, caterers, designers. There's a lot of different people who have been out of work and have been now jeopardized, for the past 2 years, and we're the last sector that would return. So I think we need to find a way in order to at least start somewhere and then move up from there.
Well, speaking of people who've been out of work, and let me now take lead from Natalie. Hi, Ryan, Ianka here. You have made most of my friends owners of the worst set of cutlery and cups ever because they never have a matching pair. I guess your merch for any forthcoming events will be masks, yeah? Pivot a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I mean, something, but yes, the future may include something like that if you want to be safe, have a mask, a branded mask or something like that.
But you have managed to let the brand continue in other ways. I mean, the Private Ryan brand itself is now stapled across rhythms throughout the region, so that we saw within that time, while the parties and the events may have been put on a bit of a back burner, you trotted on.
Yes, I decided to, not decide because I was doing it before, off of Feel Love and other projects that I did before. I put a lot of energy into making music, and part of the, making sure that the culture lives on is through the music as well. Music is timeless, and so I put energy into making hits with various artists to make sure that there was still content that could go out to the world, and the world did enjoy it. Last year I was able to do Keep Jamming On with Cass, Associate with Ufa in Dubai with Second Star. Location with Pretty, the list goes on. And then, I've been releasing music this year as well too. So I've released a couple projects that are getting good rotation so far, and more to come. So I wanted to put my staple in terms of even my interpretation of a sound for soca that is still enjoyable in the Caribbean, but still has global appeal. And that's the hybrid that I'm trying to create. And I'm really enjoying that process as well too.
to elaborate a little bit, as you mentioned, that you're creating a specific sound for soca. The last time we spoke, I think we talked about, this was early in the game, when you talked about a more mid-tempo rhythm, and you wanting people to be able to chip and enjoy a little bit more than the jump up and the sweat. And I wonder if you want to keep along that vein, or if that definitive sound that you're creating is leaning towards one tempo or the other.
No, it's just a creative expression. So it can be down tempo, it can be mid tempo, it can be power, it can be calypso fusion, soca fusion. You know, it's just about, you know, what is coming to me at the point in time that I'm making something, and then interpreting it, and then even seeing and curating. All right, this is the artist I hear on this, and this is the type of song I want on it. Because I started to write my own songs as well. Actually, one of the songs that is out now, "Can You Feel It," with Terry Lyons, I wrote that whole song for her, and my vocals are actually in it as well too.
Is you?
So yeah. I sang my voice is in it.
Oh, I was wondering who was the male voice on it, but I'm happy to find out that it's you. That's good, man.
Yeah,
nice,
exactly,
good job.
Exactly. I've been doing stuff, so I'm actually, you know, in tracks now. You know, Blessed Body by Ufa, and you know, there's so many. I just released a song with Preety yesterday called Free Again. You know, so I've been working very hard at creating this hybrid that I think a lot of people will, and dancing partner as well too, which I think you featured earlier. All those are songs that I co-wrote as well too. So yeah, and then I also created a merchandise line to get people called the Battalion, to get people involved in this movement, Battalion Music, Battalion Worldwide, which is, you know, a bunch of like-minded, good vibes, people who love the Caribbean content, love our spirit, love everything about what we are. You know, the Battalion is an all-encompassing and welcoming brand. So all these things that I've been working on.
Yeah, well, I am very curious as to how you're able to do it. We see a lot of young artists coming up and might be curious about how to become successful or how to be multidimensional instead of just producing or just hosting an event. You literally are all-encompassing, if I can use that terminology, and, you know, involved in all aspects of the business. That's music.
Yes.
How do you do it, and what are some of the tips, that you can give to these upcoming artists?
The first thing I would say is that you can be talented at something, but your talent will only take you so far. You have to have the work ethic to do it. So my first tip is that you have to have the work ethic and dedication to get where you want. There are no shortcuts to greatness. Another important thing that I would say is that you can start small, yes, but as you grow, you will become as strong as the people that you surround yourself with. So be very careful who you surround yourself with. And also, one of the greatest investments you can make is in people. If you have a good team, because, you know, I'm surrounded by a lot of great people who happen to be, you know, part of my family. So my sister, my mother, you know, some close friends and associates that I work with around the world as well that help me put together stuff. So understanding that, you know how to be able to utilize people for their core competency, their strengths. And that's how you get the best out of the product. You make a good vibe and you work together and bring things to life. Dare to be different. Do not feel afraid to try something new. You know, the best way to really stand out and to really make an impact is to be different. You know, the same way that I spoke about the sonics that I'm going for in soca, and the same way that Soca Brainwash was created to be different, the same way the Battalion brand was created to be different, and the same way that, you know, when I started and I did the DJ mixes and those things that were not, you know, in the landscape before, those are the things that identified me as somebody who's different, and I continue on that path, and that's what I would advise, you know, and short tips. But those are the three main things that I think you know you'd look at.
So Ryan, if we're not going to be having Soca Brainwash for 2022, I know definitely you have to be planning for 2023, because there's no way this damn pandemic can still be around in 2023. So let's just work with that. Let's just work with that premise. So what can we expect? What's on the horizon?
We'll have to see how it goes. You know, as I said, I can't give any we thought that the pandemic might have been over and we might be here having Carnival this year, and that has not happened. The best I can do is be nimble, be ready to adjust to anything that comes our way in terms of new developments with the virus and everything, and then see how we can bring a new world of events. You know, if it's not Soca Brainwash, then is it something else? Is it new experiences that we could curate and make people enjoy themselves with? So that's basically what I'm thinking of. What is the new world? It's now different now.
Ryan, quick question. Some people how would you respond to folks who are saying that, you know, your events like Soca Brainwash, they're targeted clearly at the diaspora of Caribbean, of people all over the world, right? So the fact that you do one in New York, you do one in Miami, and even the one here in Trinidad, we can argue that it's primarily attended by foreigners who fly in, by tourists who fly in. Yes, lots of locals attend as well. But how would you respond to people who are saying that, you know, the culture is more than just these fetes and is more than just these events that happen?
You'd agree?
It is. The culture is all encompassing. So events that I look at Carnival as a puzzle, and everybody forms part of the puzzle to make it the grand thing that it is. So yes, a lot of people attend Soca Brainwash who are from away, and a lot of locals, but I'm also limited by the space that I have. I can only hold so many people, and the reality of it is after 15 plus years of traveling, of doing mixes, of playing in other territories, I have a significant fan base. And that significant fan base supports me and the event wherever it goes. So of course you try to handle as many people as you can from all over the world, because when the event started, the tagline is the world united Soca Brainwash. And what makes it different is that you can go there and you can literally meet a lot of people from around the world, apart from just Trinis. So I think that's one of the things that actually makes it stand out in a way. But that's not to say that they don't need, Carnival doesn't need events that have a lot of Trinis. They don't need like other cultural events. They don't need events that have artists, because I don't have artists in mind, even though, you know, I make it a DJ show. But they need events with artists. It's the same way we need different types of carnival bands. We need different types of experiences, because not everyone's going to enjoy the same thing. And what makes our carnival unique is that exact thing. There's difference, there's choice. And choice is what I think makes it, you know, the fun and the unique festival that it is.
Well, one unique thing that you need to include in your battalion, Ryan, is me. I just wanted to let you know that. And yeah.
I have your package coming.
Wherever you are next, Mr. Worldwide or Global, because Pitbull always took that. We hope that we catch up with you soon and that we keep up with all the dynamics that you're bringing to Carnival, the globe, the Caribbean, and the culture.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, man, Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Blessings.
All right, Private Ryan. Don't keep it too private.
I know what's going to say something
what does that even,
like this.
I'm just saying.
What does that even mean? Thanks, Ryan. All right, guys, that's Private Ryan, DJ extraordinaire, music and global event producer. He's been producing music in a different way for the last couple of years, and he's definitely been putting a lot more effort into it, and we can see the results of it. He's been working with people like Terry Lyons, Pretty, Freetown Collective, and so much more, and we look forward to a lot more coming out of it. But stay tuned. When we come back, we're talking Kaiso, and not just any Kaiso, we're talking Kaiso tents.
Woke up early this morning, life had me